Did you get a car insurance stimulus check when the rates went crazy and everybody stopped driving and the whole world shut down? If you didn't, you may be entitled to some extra funds. Now, this one isn't a spoof video by any means. There's actually a legitimate lawsuit that's happening. There's several class action lawsuits that are going on mainly in states like California and Arizona, possibly Washington, and other states are starting to join in. What we've determined is that insurance companies didn't pay the correct amounts back. I've done a couple videos on this channel where we talked about that, and I said back then that I didn't necessarily agree with the amount that was being paid back, and that's essentially what's coming up now. So just recently in California, the insurance chief wrote a very strong warning to insurance companies that they need to respond to her immediately. She's given them essentially a 30-day window to either respond or find a path that she's gonna get them to pay back some of the people that weren't driving. Laura responded with, "On behalf of consumers, I'm out of patience. These insurance companies have 30 days to respond, otherwise actions will be taken." So what are they talking about? Well, in California, it's a little bit niched down as far as companies. You may hear on this channel we talk about some of the hundreds of insurance companies, but in California specifically, in their situation, although it's going on in other states, 1 out of 5 people are within 3 to 4 companies. Allstate, Northbrook Indemnity, CSAA, and Mercury Insurance. So between those 4 companies, 1 out of every 5 Californians are with those companies. What they determined was that they got a 9% essentially royalty override or a stimulus check back for not driving. Unfortunately, when they did the math, they noticed that less and less people drove, and even pre-pandemic situation, going over the course of about an 8-month period, which was March to September, 17% should have gone back, not 9%. They're essentially calling that almost 50% more goes back to the consumers, that they deserve that profit that these companies made where they shouldn't have. Nobody was driving, there's no risk there, there's not a reason to insure them at that point. So let's check out some stats. I'm pulling up an article from Yahoo, I think it's sports, but they mentioned that Progressive reported an 82% increase in net income. GEICO pre-tax earnings tripled during the second and third quarters of 2020. Now, in record, insurance companies did give over $14 billion in refunds and credits in the last year. Unfortunately, we're still saying that's not enough. So what are your thoughts? Do you feel like this is a fair action that they are taking, and do you think it should be broadened to every state? Personally, I agree with the situation. If the numbers are the numbers and they're not lying, and they really had a 17% growth or an 82% growth from one year to the next, now keep in mind, some of that is them getting customers and gaining business and whatnot. In Michigan specifically, we had a whole reform on insurance in the last 12 to 18 months, and that caused a lot of people to shop and shift and move. So no, they shouldn't have to pay for marketing and getting those people into their company, but the portion that correlates with the risk that was happening, the amount of drivers that were on the road or not on the road, in my personal opinion, should be recompensated. If you're paying for a service and that service isn't available, I don't expect to pay for the time that I'm not using the service. Now, to side on the insurance side, I get that part where they don't know who's using it and who's not, but they do know that instead of 9%, 17%, there was a huge drop, and some of that money should go back to the people. My thoughts. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to check out, if you need to save more, your next step is to check out my discount video where we'll also show you how to save money, not just expect more back. We don't want to rely on a pandemic just to get money back on our insurance. Go ahead and check it out. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I'm Mark with Think Insurance. I'll see you in the next one.